Good morning, everyone. Hello. And welcome to our future friends. I already had a lot of fun in the chat before the stream even started. We have a new guest, the grinning bearded bastard. Thomas is kind of forcing me to say grinning bearded bastard several times today by choosing this persona for today. Maybe I can say GBB because I had the idea that Thomas could use it as a writing, how do you say synonym? No, not synonym. Writer synonym? Writer's name? GBB? Sounds almost like a rapper's name or something. So yeah, GBB Lawrence, yeah. And yeah, it's a fantastic idea. You're allowed to just call me bastard. Loretta is also here, joining in on the fun. Hello, Loretta. Good morning, or happy after midnight time zone. I hope you're also having as much fun as GBB. Cool Gamers here. Hello. Good to see you. How are you? I hope you're doing great. Shall we have a look at the card? If you hear some people whispering in the back, those are probably my kids because two of them are just sitting here on a desk and doing some homework. So, but never mind. I got this card. I think the light is difficult for showing those cards. So you see a pyramid. Hi, kids. And the card says no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. So that's especially the wait and postpone is a great strategy I had to learn. For instance, whenever someone asks me directly, because of my people-pleasing tendencies, I usually tended to say yes immediately just to please those people when they ask me. So it was always a good strategy for me, and still is, to say no, not no immediately, but say, oh, I first have to look into my calendar, or I have to see what's up with the kids, and then I will come back to you. It's very good advice for everyone who has problems with saying no because they think because they want to not annoy other people, which isn't probably a problem for our grinning bearded bastard. Let me think about it. Yeah, but let me think about it. I don't know if there's a difference between the English speaking world and German. If you'd say that in German, it would be more like negative immediately, like I don't really want to. So in Germany, you would definitely have to say something like, I cannot tell you right now. I first have to look into my calendar or something like that. It's good to have something like that ready whenever someone asks you spontaneously out for something, or at work, for instance, whenever things suddenly come up and you're one of those people like me that tend to say yes to everything, and then afterwards think like, why did I say yes? Especially if you want to protect yourself a bit and have some boundaries. So it's good to, and because it's a lot easier then to write a message, for instance, or come up with something to say, oh, actually, no, it's not working. And another thing I always do, and I also tell my children, that you don't have to say why you cannot do it. You don't usually, of course, it depends a bit when it's work related, maybe, but usually you can just say, no, unfortunately, this doesn't work for me. And then that's it. You don't have to give a reason if you say no to something. people usually don't really expect one, and so I try to keep those things then yeah, how do you say, open, or yeah. GBB. A girlfriend's daughter quickly realized that "we'll see" was usually my way of saying no. Yeah, exactly. That's how I would interpret it as well. Emmy, good morning. Hello, hello, good gamer. You're awesome. Yes, you're awesome. Awesome too. Thank you. Okay, the evil one has good yeah. I wish I was like that sometimes. Why? Because I don't want to. Oh, yeah, I don't like you. Yeah, sometimes you really know that you want to say no, but like I said, people like us who are tend to be more people pleasing, like me, and it's good to have some strategies up. Oh, Dilara is here. Good morning. Missed you guys the whole week. Yeah, I missed you too. Let me show you the card again, because you're asking. That's the card of the day. No, wait, postpone, pause, say no. So I just talked about some strategies I have for saying no. I hope you're doing good and you had a great week so far. Cool gamer, I like your stream. Thank you. So let's jump into our warm-up sprint. I already set it up. Let's do some writing, maybe, or reading. Enjoy. Okay, my friends, that was our warm-up sprint. How did everybody do? I didn't do much. I was a bit distracted by my family. But 2 people just left the building, so only my son is still here. So it's getting a bit calmer now. I opened up my document and started to think about the scene I'm working on, if I maybe should turn this into 2 scenes, Yeah, but I haven't decided yet. I will try to do this during the next sprint. Oh yeah, I asked James or JBB. Yeah, I'm sorry for a good test about the tri-type, when you're interested in the Enneagram personality test. And I forgot that James, when he wants to share a link, or the grinning bearded bastard has to become James to be able to share a link in our chat. So thank you for that. And I think, last time we spoke about the tri-type was with Emmy as well, when Emmy said she asked ChatGPT about it, I think, and I also did this. And the last time just with ChatGPT, so it's probably not really exact, but I had 9, 2, and 5 as a result. So yeah, but I don't know. So that's why it's good that you sent me this link or shared with us the link, that anyone who's interested in that wants to dig deeper and find out your tri-type. I find it very interesting that there is this, what you shared here. The researcher realized that most people's top 3 scores often came from different centers of intelligence: gut, heart, and head. And that's, when you think about the subpersonalities or whatever, we have the different kinds of maybe reactions and to certain things. And first, maybe we have the gut reaction, the immediate bodily reaction. Then we start to think, our head comes in, and people pleasing might be what our heart is prone to do. So it makes a lot of sense to think about what influences us, which parts of us. Also, when you think of the inner child and stuff like that, there are so many, the inner critic, we have kind of all kinds of people within ourselves who try to interfere with what we're doing. And I don't think that there is one true person, there's just several. I don't know. Okay, some people say, you have a true core, but I would think of Buddhists who say, you have to calm everything down, and then you have this inner peaceful space, but it's more just a space. There is no one, there's no person left, so that's probably why we're also confused about ourselves, our reactions. And when GBB said that there's a damage, maybe it's not really a damage, that otherwise we all are kind of damaged, traumatized from certain things. But it's just, different parts of us, and that we probably will have to accept. Not that we cannot change, but for change, if we want to change, maybe acceptance is the first big step. I don't know. It's a very, very complicated, big topic. That's why there is this trend for astrology, personality types like Myers-Briggs and Enneagram, and because we are always trying to figure ourselves out. And then I wonder, why is that? Why are we trying to figure ourselves out? Usually because we're not happy with how we act, maybe. We are not happy with who we are. I don't know. Is that the reason? I'm not sure. Or maybe we want to get better. Or for me, for instance, sometimes because I know of my flaws, let's say I want to be doing more sports because I know it's healthier and I just can't figure out why I'm not doing it. Or with writing, why do I struggle with writing fast, finishing a novel as fast as possible, publishing it and not think about it too much? So you could see this as a weakness, from the writer's perspective, because we want to publish as much as possible to earn as much as possible money. But on the other hand, I feel like, but maybe my style of going about it is important so that the end result of the novel that comes out is totally different as if I had just published my first manuscript, for instance, and polished it a bit, so of course the end result, the novel that comes out, is totally different to that. And so maybe it's worth putting in this much time. So what I want to say is that maybe what we see as a damage, because I don't like the word that much, is more a different, maybe the difference in comparison to others we maybe aspire to be. I don't know. See, thank you. Knights suppress their initiative. Their sin is sloth. That's not what I want to hear. I want to hear like, yeah, it's good that you take your time with writing. I try to find reasons. Not, yeah, you're probably just a sloth and lazy. Yeah. But that's the thing. We have to figure out, is it as bad as we think or not? Or maybe how can we be happy, when you feel like, when I feel all the time I'm lazy, I'm struggling with that, definitely, because I'm slow. This will make me unhappy. So I have to kind of find ways to, because if I could, or I try, of course, to be faster or have more energy, I struggle with the fact that my energy is depleting very quickly during the day. And then I really struggle with focusing in the afternoon, what a lot of people do. But I feel like, I wish I could be like my husband, who seems to be able to work 24/7 and be focused. So yeah, that's why I think, try to find explanations for how we are with MBTI. I remember when I figured out, okay, I'm an INFJ, this was like, fortunately, I'm this explains so much, it helped me be a bit kinder to myself, how I am. And I think that's what we are also looking for with those typing things, to kind of give us a bit of a explanation why we are who we are, and maybe also a direction in which we can develop, grow. So yeah. But also Emmy shared that which I really liked reading, I'm actually making some concept art for my book. I started because got bogged down by buildings a little while writing, but also I get inspired by animation and game art books. And the current art book I'm reading is, of course, a Zelda one. There's so much detail in it. I asked my son, who said he probably could play it on his computer. Yeah, but he doesn't. And that's what I wanted to say. Emmy, I will probably release these rough sketches on my Patreon, which I find very good. This will get people excited, when you can share just images or something that shows what the book is going to be about, for instance, and gives some insights, some special knowledge. Let me go. What else? Ooh. I'm a 1. Our sin is anger. So bursts of anger, in which way? I mean, there's also healthy angriness, anger. It's very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so every type has kind of a sin in. Because is it that they also recommend to look at the sins from different perspectives. I mean, that's what I'm inclined to do. Sometimes a sin can be good, you know. Oh yeah, Emmy says, I think it's to understand struggles and how to cope. Yeah, exactly. It just helps. It's like we are making our own therapy sessions with that. Journaling about us, trying to figure out our type, learning more about the types, and trying to see the parallels maybe. It's like when we are getting to know another person, you know, I think, and when we watch videos about our types or stuff, it helps, like, oh, that makes sense now. And usually there are good explanations with that, and especially how we can deal with those kinds of things, like our sins, anger, laziness, and stuff like that. How we can, because usually we know or we feel that something isn't good what we do, maybe for instance being slow or lazy, and usually we then struggle with doing something against it. That's why we are like that, you know. I think that's why it's a part of our type, for instance with the anger as well. So getting some strategies to get better at it is always also very helpful, and especially strategies that not everyone, like for every type, usually as a type you need some special strategy, because that's why you're struggling with it, because there are reasons for, like, for instance, fast depleting energy, or just perfectionism, self-destruction, whatever. Like thinking constantly that you're not good enough will lead, of course, to writer's block, for instance, and then you won't write as much, and then you think you're lazy. So this would be a reason, and so you need certain strategies to do, like meditation or stuff like that, to cope with that. Nines are extraordinarily good at understanding others and creating harmony. Now you wanted to share something positive. Very Taoist in a way. Every strength brings its weakness. Yes, and every weakness brings its strength. That's how I see it. Yes, self-acceptance, including the acceptance that we need to grow. Yeah. Yeah, I think self-acceptance doesn't mean like we should stay who we are, but also science says this, that it's very important to be positive about yourself or about what you want to achieve. Let's say dieting, they realized whenever people put themselves down because they maybe broke the diet and fell off the wagon, when they put themselves down, it will be like they cannot stick with the diet. But if you are like, okay, it's okay, I fell off the wagon, but if you stay neutral or even positive about it and say, okay, I can go back up on the wagon, people are succeeding more, as if they end up in self-hatred, for instance. So that's why self-acceptance is so important. Loretta, I think the laziness would be more the delay in starting or not doing the work, more so than the pace. If you value your writing, you want it to develop organically. Yes, yes. However that looks for you. Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, and that's why I do the streams. That's, for instance, a strategy that works for me, streaming, and then I'm getting over this starting step, start to write, start to work on a scene. Loretta, publishing fast looks like competence as a writer. Taking the time to craft and get it right is competence. Yes, yes. Oh, thank you, Loretta. for coming back at that, it's not laziness when I take 5 years to write a novel, when it takes 5 years for me to write and finish a novel. So, but because we don't want to be lazy. Let's jump into the next one. Oh no, sorry, I have to first go here and use a 25-minute. Oh, let's use this one. Okay, my friends, 25 minutes. Whew. Okie dokie. That was sprint number 2. I'm a bit distracted today, sorry, because my son is here and needs some help with his homework. But yeah, I'm here. Yeah, how did everybody do? I looked at my scene and actually will divide it into like 3 scenes. Yeah, and describe everything a bit better, hopefully in the next sprint maybe. It's a little bit difficult for me to focus because sometimes my son needs me and then I have to go there, and maybe that's the reason why in the afternoons I really struggle with focusing, because a lot of people are then here and I will be distracted or interrupted, and that's, yeah, but that's okay. That's why I need a room for myself. This would be cool to have. I talked about this before, to have a room of my own, a room of one's own. We all know this essay from Virginia Woolf, which is like, yeah, that's so true. I need a room for myself with a door I can close. Thank you, James, for sharing this link with me for the 259 tri-type. Just reading the first lines, I was like, oh, yeah, that fits. So it seems to be quite right. Oh, Lilith is here. Hello. It's okay. It's cute to see James come out to play once in a while. I thought he's playing with you, you know, but yeah. Dilara ran errands. Now I'm making coffee. Yeah, I also will need another coffee. Ooh, yeah, the next comment, sorry, but first I want to focus on Dilara's sprint. Ran errands now. I'm making coffee to write in the next sprint. Perfect. 40-minute sprint is perfect for writing. So, and when you already have a coffee, then it's even better. Or a tent on the roof. Unfortunately, our roof is like that, so it's a bit difficult. Maybe a tent on the balcony or something like that, but it's probably getting too hot. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the kids won't need me forever, so I have some hopes for the future and just try to yeah, do a little bit each day. You don't know, you know, as soon as the kids have moved out, which will be in probably 10 years, I will just publish novel after novel because I can spend the whole day just doing that. Probably it won't be like that, but one can dream. Yeah, so I think I need to help my son anyways now. So let me set up the next sprint real quick so that I can focus on him. And let's use this timer. 40 minutes. Oh, yeah. Let's start from the beginning. So enjoy 40 minutes of writing time, Dilara, just for you. Have fun. Okie dokie, my friends. That was our long 40-minute sprint. I spent about half of it helping my son with stuff, but the other half I also worked on my scenes. I'm not done yet, but I'm happy with my progress and know how to continue, which is always very important. And I helped my son, which is also very important. So this was a good sprint for me. I also made myself another cup of coffee. I've earned it. And oh yeah, Loretta. First, let's say good morning to Ian. I will come to your comment pretty soon. But first, I want to say or talk a bit about what Loretta has shared, that she's working on a Ko-fi page. I realize I keep getting frustrated with the all non-writing portions of my blog, so I never post anything. I totally feel you with Ko-fi. I feel like I'm making small steps toward a goal. Like Patreon. Yeah, it's very similar, I think. I don't have a Patreon page, but a Ko-fi page. So I kept telling myself last year to get over it and post short stuff on my blog. But now what I'm digging into, being in INFJ, I'm trying to lean into my intuition. Doing a formal blog is what experts say to do as a writer or any entrepreneur, but there's something that just doesn't quite fit with my vision. Yeah, I definitely had the same experience. I used to have a blog back in the days when I also published my nonfiction books. I just used the time. It was just when I started working as a freelancer, I wanted to build an income as a writer. And of course, I also started a blog and I had some fun with it. I also interacted with some people. But what I definitely hated was that those technicalities, also the SEO, there's so many things you have to think about, the headlines. It was at some point overwhelming. And what overwhelmed me the most was that I wrote about all kinds of topics like minimalism, anything that interested me. So it was it had different topics. And what overwhelmed me the most was that people I know from real life read this blog and always talked to me about it, wanted to talk to me about what I had written and give their opinion. And me as a shy person that doesn't want to be in the center of attention with those things, like, I don't know what kinds of food I eat, or like with minimalism, there are of course some people that were like, I don't want to say opposed to it, or others were inspired, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to meet people in real life and then they start talking about me, what I'm doing. I usually just, from who I am, don't like talking about myself. Okay, it's different here in the stream, I have to say. I often talk about me, but in real life, I'm always focusing on the other people that I'm with at a party or something, at a meetup. So this was like hell. It was one big reason why I stopped doing this blog, which is crazy somehow. You write a blog to reach people, but yeah, it was strange, very strange. They also read of course, the books I published, and it was so overwhelming. It's worse than reviews on Amazon from strangers. When you talk to people and maybe sometimes they criticize an opinion I had, which is totally fine, but still it was like hell. Yeah, so a big struggle for me, besides those technical things, because when it takes ages just to set up things, the format and everything, we want it to be good, and sometimes it takes too much energy already setting everything up. And then of course, if you want to post something regularly, it's not just an annoyance, but it's something that hinders you to do that. And so I totally understand Loretta with that. That she tries to find ways to quick and easy publish regularly short stuff, for instance, and feel good. You will feel always good when you publish something. And yeah. So Ian, hello again. I've been catching up. Type 9 sloth is, I think, usually explained as falling asleep to your own needs and wants. and not acting for yourself. It's not classic laziness. We can do lots, but usually for others. Oh yeah, that's a big, I think this sloth type 9 thing is a good topic I should definitely dig into, because I had this immediate bodily reaction when I was hit with a comment about the sloth. I think it's definitely something I feel, that's exactly what I always feel bad about, when I talk about my mental health. Like when I know I'm not feeling good in general, it's usually about this, that I feel like a sloth in comparison. For instance, like my husband, who's a high achiever, who's like working all the time, achieving all those awesome things. He's the main breadwinner. He's like active, really high energy, active. And just in comparison to him, I totally feel like a sloth. And the slow progress with my writing. And so this always is a struggle for me, that I need to probably also work through. Why is that? And so this connection with the type 9 is very interesting, and I hope taking care of others, I'm definitely mostly taking, because I use way more time, or I have spent way more time with the kids, so I'm definitely taking more care of others, and therefore giving away my time and energy to others instead of writing, for instance. So this is definitely a good point. And even if I come to the conclusion that it's good for me right now, I say it's totally, I want to give energy and time to my children, because at some point they will move out. So then I can spend definitely more time on myself. And so I try to just accept that. And this is already helpful, for me to tell myself, it's okay, Anja, you just have a limited amount of time and energy. That's what life is. I have to accept that right now. Dilara, I wrote 55 words. I feel like I let you down, Anja. You didn't let me down. It's totally fine. 55 words. Awesome. That's more than one word a minute. So, and you had to drink your coffee. This also takes time. Seriously, I'm having such a hard time writing my last 2 chapters. Is there a reason to that? Is it, what can you pinpoint maybe why you have this hard time writing the last 2 chapters? Maybe you're not happy yet with what you're going to write, or you just don't know what's going to happen. Maybe you first have to think about it a bit. There must be a reason. Or maybe the coffee tastes so good, you just focus on your coffee. Loretta, good morning to Ian, and I 100% agree. My actionable things are almost always for other people. Yeah. Loretta, yes, I understand that having a niche can be helpful monetarily, but I hate the idea of not just sharing whatever is giving me joy in the movie. Same. Giving me joy. Yes, I cannot do the niche thing. For me, maybe the niche would be here, talking about writing, but even then we talk about all those other things. And maybe you could, at some point thought maybe I could just make my me as a person as what you market. I don't know, but it's also very difficult when you're introverted and don't want to be at the forefront. Oh yeah, I could not do this. I started doing that back then. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who also have many interests. I mean, I don't think you have to. Maybe you just have to find something like a theme for that, for your blog, or that could be then your niche, like how do you say, what do you call people with lots of interests, and if you make this your theme, your top theme, then you can write about everything you enjoy. Or you could call yourself the explorer, stuff like that, or the observer, or whatever. So it's just how you sell it, maybe that can already help you have a platform for yourself where you explore all the things you enjoy or want to explore. The grinning beauty bastard. One take on the 9 is that they either think, feel, or they do. They struggle with doing both. Yeah. Oh, that's very interesting. And the doing in general is suppressed. That's when I said yesterday that we are more observers than participants in society. Definitely, there's some truth in that. But sometimes I think, why do we? Okay, we are somehow forced to participate in society, but why does this have to be a bad thing? Especially as writers, we could be just observers and then, okay, share what we observe. So not just try to change our personality, but work with what makes us special. So we are observers, okay? How can we use that? And also remind ourselves that others who are not like us cannot take this perspective. And so maybe they need us to show them our perspective as, for instance, observers. Yeah, that's how I try to find ways to work with those perceived weaknesses, maybe, or just to get some excitement or some how I can get myself into the doing, with who I am. GBB, the 3 has a different issue. Feeling is suppressed. To focus energy on thinking and doing. Yeah, that's the other thing. Others struggle with this, like the 3, that they struggle with the feeling and suppressing feelings. Another uncomfortable truth for me, especially when I was younger. Yeah, usually when we grow older, we get a better hand on our feelings. That's hopeful. Ian just back. My wife suddenly wanted instruction on how to do third eye meditation. Oh, awesome! But it's cool that you can share this interest. Dilara, I think I'm not happy with how I'm finishing it off, so it makes me dread writing it. And don't you want to change it then? I mean, when you're not happy with it, maybe you need to change the ending. Would this be a solution for you? Do you know? Oh, for Ian, do you know your wife's MBTI? Oh, ENFP, but that's good, isn't it? ENFP might be a good match. Seems to be a good match. Type 7, I have no idea about type 7. Dilara, as I'm writing it, I'm thinking this is bad writing. Yeah, that would be something different. It depends on, do you just think your ending is in itself not right? Then you could change maybe how it ends. And the writing you can always make better. You just first write it out and then or do you mean with bad writing how you make the ending of the novel, that this would be I think that's what you mean, isn't it? That you think, why is it because people will not be happy with this ending reading it and think that this is bad writing? Loretta, my roommate is an ENFP. We have great conversations. Yeah, I thought that they have good connections to INFJs. She does most of the talking. I love people who talk too. It's so helpful. At Dilara, I don't know if this helps, but sometimes when I feel like that, I just try to get it out. Yeah, and that was my thought as well. And then when I rewrite, I can work on making the writing better since the info is dumped. Yeah, I thought so too, that you can later rework it. Type 5s have a tendency to observe. True of the withdrawn types generally. Yeah. That's why I felt so connected to the 5 that I first thought I would be a 5. People with lots of interests, Emmy. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, we are all having lots of interests. Why should it be bad? And why should you have to? Yeah, it was, speaking of ENFPs, I did a coaching with an ENFP who coached me. So, and other ENFPs. I was one of I think there were 3 INFJs and 40 ENFPs in the group. And he also said that you kind of have to find a way to make your niche broader, in a sense that you can really, that you have maybe a topic that is quite specific, but then you can from there go into all kinds of topics. I have to think of an example, but like multi-potentialite. This would be the up topic, and then I don't know, maybe there would be a better I don't know. Would have to think about it. Haha, to Ian from Loretta, yes, naturally, but then I feel safe and start rambling until I get self-conscious. Yeah, catch myself. Thank you, Loretta. I'll try to do that. I know somehow we need to start next sprint to help Delara. I need to conclude it. Yes, that's the only way to have something to rewrite. Yes, yes, yes. Ella from Ian. Loretta. Also, I sometimes don't know how I want something to end until I'm editing and realize, yeah, oh no, this isn't what I want at all. GBB writers always hate their work. Oh yeah, but that's true. We cannot trust ourselves with our opinion about our writing. We definitely have this in common, says Loretta to Emmy. And I like to blogs that have all kinds of content. See? Loretta, I'm abnormally chatty for an INFJ. For a bit, James thought I was an ENTP because of that. Would have also been very cool. Emmy, first draft can be bad. Also, you can't edit a blank page. So true. It's your third draft, yeah. Yeah, we all suffer from that we need several drafts. But I mean, those are the last two chapters. Think about that. You're almost done. The last two chapters. Maybe this can encourage you a bit that it's so close to the finish line. People with lots of interests, we have a name. We are called procrastinators. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. So, why am I always talking so much? In recent days, I always spend so much time talking with you guys. So, a final sprint, Anja. Set up a final sprint quickly. Oh yeah, let's use the cat timer, and I will loop it. We will watch it for 2 rounds. So we have another 20 minutes. And I hope you enjoy the last sprint. And good luck, Delara, with finishing those 2 chapters. You can do it. Okie dokie, my friends. Hi, Carmen. I don't know if you're still here. I hope you all have a great weekend. That was the end of my stream. I hope Dilara made some progress on her last 2 chapters. I am not done with my scene yet, but yeah, today I was a bit distracted, which is fine. I can finish working on my scene later. And yeah, I wish you all a great weekend, and I will be back on Monday. So see you soon, my friends. Ciao, ciao.